Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Hakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Quan the Wild through the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp. Come with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And this evening, man, just touching on things that are going on in the airwaves, right, the news, right, that's taking place in regards to the enchantments, the psyops, the distractions, right, the division, that the Lord is bringing upon Babylon the Great. And we're seeing that Esau Edom is pulling out all the stops right now in order to occupy the minds of the people, right, to keep them focused on uh, the things, the cares of this life, right? And to keep them enchanted into continue the believing this system can be continued on, man, right? Trusting in the shadow of Egypt. Now, we see the Trump assassination attempt, right? Now, whether or not it was an actual, attempt or not, the whole situation is a psyop, man, right? The whole situation is a distraction. This is all to get the people's riled up, right, for these coming elections in November, man, right, and to also cause that division between the Democratic and Republican parties, right, and what is continuing that division is what we're seeing with the Joe Biden dropping out situation, compounded with Kamala being pushed up as that figurehead, right, to take his spot, you know. So we're seeing division on all fronts as far as the politics goes, because now nobody knows what to do, right? And now they're pushing Kamala as this black woman savior, right? And so they put that enchantment on Jake, right, as they do each year, you know. Now you have Esau, the separation between them as far as Democrat and Republican, and now you have them separating because of they don't want to have a so-called black woman as their president, man, right? And they're saying if Trump doesn't win, it's going to be civil war, right? So we see that separation taking place, that division that the spirit of Yahweh Shai is bringing in the earth, right? And these are all the things that we get hyped for. These are all the things we get excited for because we know that each day is a day closer to our salvation, man, and a day closer to the destruction of Babylon the Great. So we're seeing the chaos taking place. We're seeing the turmoil, the confusion in the minds of the people. All these things are signs that we're almost out of here, man. But I wanted to start here with this. This is Second Ezra 15 and verse 14 in the GNT. It says the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near, right? Because people aren't even speaking on the global tensions that are stirring up, right? This is what they're distracting the minds of the people from, whether it be with the Olympics, whether it be with whatever baseball things are going on, whatever NBA summer league, you know, whatever's going on TV in the entertainment realm. All these things are distractions to keep the people's minds occupied and things that ultimately don't matter, right? It says the war that will bring their destruction is very near because Putin is already waging war against America. China is preparing to wage war against America. NATO and the United States already have a nuclear alliance, but now we're seeing the crumbling of the agreements that they've come to as a group, right? So NATO is eventually going to turn its back on Babylon the Great, which is prophesied, right? That beast shall hate the whore, you know. We see tensions brewing up between Israel and Hamas and Hezbollah, and as well as what they have going on over there with Palestine, right? It says verse 16. So continuing on in verse 15. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. So this is what we're seeing taking place. These nations are arming themselves, and now ultimate armament is those nuclear weapons, man. There will be great political turmoil What do we see, man? Right? We got presidents getting shot at. We got presidents dropping out of the campaigns. We got uh, so-called black woman president. Uh, what's the word? Candidates. For the first time, right? All these things drumming up, right? Political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. And this is what we're seeing. This is why they're pushing the psyop, the mental manipulation tactics that they use specifically on you Israelites, right? To get you into the election season, to get you into the voting polls and the ballot boxes and all that, man. Right? And the scriptures tell us that we're not supposed to set up someone of another nation over us, man. Right? It says there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government, right? Because ultimately, civil war is the end result, you know? All these psyops, all these divisions, right? All these mind games, all these enchantments that are taking place, right? All these distractions, they're going to lead to this coming civil war, man. Right? They're going to lead to the division of the American people, these Babylonians out here, right? They're going to be fighting neighbor against neighbor, kingdom against kingdom, right? All these people, right? Because, like I said, they're going to ignore the legitimate government, right? The government that's being set up is about to be ignored by the masses. And this is what they're going to force, or this is what entail is going to force the MOTB upon the people, man, because it's going to be great turmoil taking place in the streets, right? It's going to be terrible events coming to pass as a result of this civil war, and then they'll bring the martial law troops in, they'll bring the EU troops in, which they're already here, right? They'll have the peacekeepers come in, right, and then they'll be able to fully establish their system, man, right, and forcing the people to take place in it, man. It says, verse 17, there will no longer be free access to the cities. Now, as brothers often go into, China already has a situation like this. Canada is already working on a situation like this. So it's pretty soon gonna be in America, man, right? Where you can't travel freely, right? Where your money is tied up in this digital currency. Your ID is tied to your money, your social credit score, all this, man. Right? All that system that is ultimately the beast system, the MOTB system, right? Which is going to lead to that implantable device, right? There will no longer be free access to the cities because they'll have military blockades and things of that nature as well. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, man. The struggle for power, right? Whether it be through the geopolitics, the domestic politics, right? Even neighborhood to neighborhood, house to house, you know, people are going to be struggling for power. People are going to be struggling for everything, right? Because, like it says in verse 19, driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. This is the mind that's coming to America, man. Right? The love of many waxing cold, right? Great death and confusion, like it said in verse 18, right? The struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion, man. Complete and utter chaos. And, Isaiah 33:6, that wisdom, knowledge, and the wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our times, man. And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. Right? So this is the most valuable thing you could be a part of because we're seeing every facet of society being attacked. We're seeing every facet of society beginning to crumble, right? The cracks in the foundation are there, right? And that rock, being Yahweh Shai, is about to strike and cause it to come tumbling down, right? It says, let me see here. That's pretty much the point on that. Let's see if there's any more else here. Yeah, that's the point out here. Because we're seeing that great division take place. We're seeing the political turmoil coming. We're seeing, the love of many waxing cold, right? Let's go here. This is Matthew chapter 24, and man, we'll start on 4. It says here, Yahushua answered, Matthew 24 and 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, right? Because this is what we're seeing. Master manipulation tactics, masterful deception tactics, supreme enchantments taking place from this devil, man. When you read in Ephesians 6 and I believe 12 in the Geneva Bible, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Right, it talks about what we're battling right now, man. And it gives credence to the fact that we have to put on the whole armor of the Lord, man. Right, we have to have this defense in order to fight, in order to maintain and stand firm, man. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. And I'll start in 10, actually, since I made mention of the armor. Ephesians 6 and 10 in the Geneva Bible, it reads, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the assaults of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, right? These elites, these globalists, right? The princes of the darkness, right? Because they've been given power on the left-hand side, man, right? Job 9 and 24, right? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked, man. They were given power. They were given dominion, right, over this current time, man. It says, against powers, against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness, which are in high places. Right, so the spiritual wickedness is coming down from the kings of the earth, right? And this is all permeating through society. They're controlling all these things. They're puppeteering, right, the division that we're seeing. They're puppeteering the enchantments. They're puppeteering the distractions, right? They're setting all these things up, right, to keep people's minds occupied, right, on everything outside of prophecy, man. Meanwhile, the world itself is crumbling around them and they can't see it, right? Because ultimately their eyes have been blinded, right? We can grab that, right? But we'll read this real quick. Matthew 24 and 4. Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Because we're hearing of constant skirmishes, right? But that final war has not yet commenced. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. But hey, that nation against nation, Esau against Esau, right? These Americans against Americans, each state or each region, however it ends up taking place, man, right? Democrats versus Republicans, Trump supporters versus Biden or Kamala supporters or whoever they have in office, man, right? If there ever is an election, because there's rumors that might take or might not take place, It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, man. And we see, the various natural disasters taking place. We see the famines on the way, right? Whether natural or manufactured. We see the pestilences, various diseases in all forms and shapes and sizes, man, right? It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So we haven't even gotten to the to the nitty gritty, man, right? It says here in verse 8 in the NLT, it says, but all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. Evils and only evils, man. Right? Ezekiel 7th chapter. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, right? Because, Lord willing, we endure, right? We'll be standing, standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shai, man, right? Continuing to preach the name of the Lord, right? Continuing to believe, right? Holding firm, maintaining our integrity, right? In our belief in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Verse 10, and they shall be, it's like, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, right? And this is what we're seeing, that division, right? We even see division as the brother Ayashamath was going into in his lesson, right? That I tuned into before I started this, right? We see division between the Democrats, man, because there are those who, which is typically, right, Simple Jake, right, in the black woman, right, supporting Kamala Harris, and then you have those who are the black Republicans, so called, right, that are vehemently against it or against her, so that even in that, right, it says, many are offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. So that's the more division, man, right? And that whole Kamala thing is an enchantment and a psyop, right, to play on the minds and emotions of these simple niggas out here, man. Verse 12, that's a lot. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall arise and deceive many, and we're seeing that specifically amongst the circumcision, man, right? False prophets, false doctrines, right? Wayward doctrines, all these things taking place. And what are they doing? Deceiving many, man, right? Leading them to the slaughter at the end of the day. And because iniquity shall abound, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. Right, and this is what we've seen, over the years, right? The love of many continuing to wax cold. So how much more, right, in these times to come? How much more, as these days grow closer and closer, as things get worse and worse, right? That love of many is going to be completely gone, man. Right? People already hate each other. How much more when they're fighting each other for food, for water, right? For some semblance of comfort, right? Because they won't have the comfort of the scriptures because they've separated themselves from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? They won't be blessed to have that eye salve, to have that faith, right? To have that belief, right? In Yahweh Yahweh Shai. It says, verse 13, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved, right? And this is what we pray for, man. We continue to pray for endurance, right? Because as we pray for the downfall of Babylon the Great, continually, and we see those prayers working, right? We must continue to pray that we can endure until the end, right? So that we can receive that salvation. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And this is what we're seeing, man. That end is being made manifest, right? We're seeing the end of Babylon the Great, the end of this Edomite hegemony. We're seeing the end of Esau's rule in the earth, right? And the establishment of righteousness in the earth through Yahweh Shai, man, right? And it starts with the preaching of this gospel, right? Him putting his spirit on these men you see out here on the highways and byways doing these video epistles, right? Casting down Mount Seir, right? Chanting down Mount Seir, right? Because of the enchantments we see taking place, because of the wicked psyops and distractions and witchcrafts that we see them perpetrating throughout the earth, man, right? To break those strongholds down. And that's why they're continuing to fight, against us, because this is the only thing that is a threat to them, man. None of these other philosophies pose any threat because ultimately they've been set up by Esau Edom, man. Right? But this right here, right? The gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? The true 100% doctrine, that was given to our elder apostles and taught to the men on down, through the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is what's tearing down those strongholds, man. This is what's removing that veil off of Jake. This is what's giving us that hope, that faith, right? That we're gonna be redeemed in these times to come, man. Should we endure until the end, you know? But that was pretty much the point, man. You know, actually, let me get this. No enchantment against Jacob. Because these enchantments and distractions that we see take place, right? Specifically in the political realm, right? They're gonna have a strong grip on the majority of our people, man. There are those who have separated themselves from, right, the belief in this political system, but there's a vast majority of Israelites out there that still think that voting can somehow save them or give them some type of reprieve from the from the curses, man. Right? But this is speaking on the elect. It reads, "Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob." Right? So none of these enchantments, none of Esau's left hand practices, because this is unprecedented territory, really. Because how many times can you say throughout history where you've had back to back to back events, right, that are completely unprecedented, man, right? Which shows you Esau's enchantments are getting weak because they have to keep doing them and they have to keep having these things take place. They're probably going to have a major enchantment take place through this Olympic cycle, right? Right, the month coming up, right, in August. You know, so there's going to be enchantments going through as a result of that, right? We've got the Trump assassination. We've got the Kamala Harris. We've got the Biden dropping out. All these are psyops and enchantments to grab the minds of you Israelites, man. To put you in the mindset of trying to save this country when it cannot be saved, right? Trying to put yourself in a better position in a place where you have no continuing city, as the scriptures tell us, man, right? It says, neither is there any divination against Israel, right? So there's no divining, there's no witchcraft, there's no dealing with CERN, right? There's no sacrifices they can put up that are going to separate the elect from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's hand, as you read in the latter half of Romans 8th chapter, right? From like the 30th verse on down. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel what hath the Most High wrought. Let's see what it says in the NLT. It says, Numbers 23 and 23. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. Like, come on, man. That in itself is beautiful, man. Right? There's nothing they can do. Right? No magic has any power against the elect. For now it will be said of Jacob what wonders the Most High has done for Israel. And this is a great wonder, man. To allow the elect to make it through the worst time that the earth has ever known, right? The most devilish, sin-filled, wicked time that we've ever seen, and to pull us out of that, as Yahweh Shai had prayed in John 17, right? Right, to give us the endurance, to give us the spiritual fortitude to make it through these trials and tests, man. Right, that's a great wonder that the Lord has done and is doing, you know, and He's protecting us from, you know, these enchantments, these psyops, right, and these distractions, man, right, and you know, from the division that's coming as a result, you know. So, you know, Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Shai. First and foremost, I want to close to like you. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this world with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. At Kwame Yasharala, we almost home. Shalom.